Welcome to the desk of the Executive Director of Back Bay Mission. I am James Pennington. Good to have you here today, and we are at what I like to call one of our most diverse corners in Biloxi, because we have our veterans housing that is Back Bay Mission right here. We have 8 units for people that are veterans, that are unsheltered, and then we have a gay bar across the street called Just Us, and then we have this fantastic Lee's International Market and pharmacy, and we even have a dispensary that's going to be opening up on the corner here. So it's an incredibly diverse corner of Biloxi. But today I want to talk a little bit about food deserts. This, of course, is a Vietnamese, primarily Vietnamese, Asian international market. Because we have a large Vietnamese population here, and Kevin and I will take you there in a minute. But it specifically caters to the Asian communities that are Vietnamese, Korean, Chinese, and then we have another grocery store down the way, I don't know, maybe almost a mile, that's called Food Giant. Now, Food Giant is independently owned by, it says, by the customers, but Food Giant also has, I'd say it's probably 10%, 15% more in most items than you'd find at our other grocery stores here. And this grocery store may be the same because it's independent, although it's hard to compare prices because they have so many unique items here. I personally love to go into Lee's International Market, and I do this oftentimes on my way home because it reminds me of fish markets that I went to in various coastal places, and our fish markets here actually, because there's that rich smell of seafood that is such a critical component to kind of the international market. So kind of wanted to welcome you.
Because if it is, I'm going around, y'all.
Okay, I wanted to.
Only because
okay,
I
wanted to welcome you to this. That's okay.
That's the only reason.
That's okay. Thank you, ma'am.
And thank you for understanding.
You bet, of course. So we want to welcome you here, but I also want to talk about food deserts. And East Biloxi, which is what we're in right now, is considered a food desert by most economists and by those who talk about food, talk about environment. There isn't a grocery store here that's affordable, and even more than that, it's a grocery store that offers fresh produce. That's kind of what we really identify, and many of the folks that are even more into East Biloxi would go to convenience stores for their food, and we know what convenience store stocks heavy is. They stock snacks, they stock sugary foods, they stock sugary drinks, and they don't really stock fresh vegetables, fresh fruits at all. So we do have a movement here in East Biloxi that I'm actually a part of that's looking to establish what we're calling the East Biloxi Cooperative, which is a cooperative of community folks that are buying into this, and part of our donation or part of our buy-in is $100 a year. But we're hoping that those that can afford that will be able to support this co-op once it's up and running, but it will have affordable food. It'll have oftentimes probably free food, also when it comes to fruits and vegetables and fresh foods that are much healthier for you. So that's a bit of my spiel, and I think part of it for East Biloxi is East Biloxi has really not come back fully or totally from Katrina, and those of you who have visited here will see that. There's a lot of empty lots, and there's starting to be some investment in East Biloxi. It's kind of slow, but they're starting to invest in East Biloxi and kind of bring in some creative restaurants, some creative shops, but again, many of those are on the higher end. So Kevin and I would like to take you into Lee's, so you just kind of have an experience of I think some of the best that Biloxi has to offer, that I encourage our guests to come to who visit here, but I'm not sure that they always do. But it's one of those gems and those beautiful cultural places here in our city. So this is Lee's Market. We're inside the market now. Again, as I said, it's a gem and a jewel here in Biloxi, and primarily the Vietnamese, Korean, Chinese communities, Asian communities that find their foods here, because most of our American grocery stores do not hold and most of these foods. So you see there's kind of a lot of Asian American treats here. Rice cookers, which I actually bought one of my rice cookers here. In fact, that's the one I bought, the Tiger rice cooker. And this is kind of our section of meats, fresh meats. and fresh seafoods. And again, it's different than you'd find in most of our American grocery stores, right? I think one of the things, of course, we've got duck here. We've got some. This is I forget what it's called in.
Is that durian?
It's durian, yeah. So it's frozen durian that you would not find in your traditional grocery stores. You probably wouldn't find boiled sweet corn, but this is a gem and a jewel. So if you're in Biloxi, please come and support Lee's Market, International Market, which is right on Division, right down 3 or 4 blocks from Back Bay. And this is always one of my favorite places to look over here is the fresh seafood. Because I find seafood fascinating because I didn't grow up in an area where we had fresh seafood. We've got live lobster, we have striped bass, we have salmon, catfish that's farm raised, and most of that actually is raised right here in Mississippi. We have quite a few catfish farms in Mississippi, one of the largest in the nation. Tilapia, and then shrimp that's caught wild here. And then of course we have mussels and we have clams. And to me it's just a fantastic experience to kind of get out of your normal Walmart grocery store and to discover and to find new and beautiful items here in Lee's Groceries. So thank you for joining us again. We do have a food desert here in East Biloxi, and we think it's important that you know that, important for all of us to make sure that we have access to healthy, fresh foods. This obviously is fresh food. This is healthier food than it would be frozen or would be packaged. So again, thank you for joining us. We ask that you would join us again here at Back Bay from the desk of the Executive Director. So thank you. Continue to support Back Bay and be a part of really changing lives and transforming neighborhoods. Thanks for joining.